Star Wars infamously has explanations for every character, vehicle, and trash can-shaped robot that ever appears on screen. Though for most of these things you gotta duck over to Wikipedia to get your hidden detail jollies, you don't find them in movie as much. I mean, in 40 years of filmmaking, you'd think it would be difficult to maintain a consistent line of continuity, especially with the franchise changing hands. However, astute viewers will be rewarded by finding mind-blowing instances of extremely cool, detailed continuity throughout the entire franchise that explains away lingering questions. And non-astute viewers, well, they can just watch this video instead. Here's 6 instances of mind-blowing Star Wars continuity. Number 6, the Hollow Chessboards' personal journey. The famous "Let the Wookiee win" scene in Star Wars A New Hope is a nice piece of humor and character development, but it also left an indelible mark on fans. It's actually kind of ironic, as the original stop-motion animations were meant to convey an advanced sci-fi future, but their rough handmade nature made them emblematic of the unique rustic future that makes Star Wars stand out from slicker franchises. In Solo, a Star Wars story, the CG animators lovingly recreated the sequence using the original designs made by John Berg and Phil Tippett, and included 2 unused creatures that didn't make it into the original movie. In a brilliant, or cloyingly on the nose if you're feeling grumpy, bit of canon, Chewbacca strikes the console and glitches it out, erasing the 2 lost monsters so it matches with what we see in the original films. Maybe after the events of Solo, Chewbacca struck Alden Ehrenreich's face too, and that's why he looks like Harrison Ford in the other movies. I don't know, I mean, it worked with Wampa and Luke, so why not twice? Number 5, the mystery of the Sidious Sabre, solved. How's that for alliteration? Pretty good if you ask me. In the oh-so-memeable unlimited power confrontation between Mace Windu and Emperor Palpatine, the Sith Lord's evil red lightsaber is sent flying into the labyrinthine streets of Coruscant, only to inexplicably reappear in his hand later in the movie during a fight with Yoda. This one bizarre detail could have been forever shunted into the goof section of IMDb, but in 2012, the team working on season 5 of the Clone Wars animated series went out of their way to show that Sidious was actually trained in a dual-wielding style the whole time, thus canonically explaining why he had a second weapon up his sleeve. Better explanation, one that I'm coming up with right now, is that he's actually trained in the art of being prepared, you know, like a good Boy Scout. Darth Sidious, more like Darth Preparedous. Somebody should have trained me in thinking about what I was gonna say before saying it. Number 4, someone give Luke a hand. That's a good joke. It's because his hand's cut off. No one's ever thought of that before. While there may never have been a definitive consensus on The Last Jedi, what most people can agree with is how its somber examination of Luke Skywalker in his waning years left an impact on his viewers. One indicator of how the old Jedi Master is haunted by his past is the gnarly hole in his mechanical hand, a battle scar from the fight aboard Jabba's barge in Return of the Jedi. Luke's artificial hand has always been a visual parallel with his cyborg dad, but old Luke has not only let the synthetic flesh rot away, he also stopped wearing that cool one black leather glove thing that was kind of like a, I don't know, it was the 80s, Michael Jackson, he ruled, he was dancing and stuff. Hooray for improved prosthetic budgets and continuity, I love it. Michael Jackson music in Star Wars, please make it happen. Don't do that, that's a horrible idea, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Number 3, the Millennium Falcon's big change, it's the radar dish. Why does it have it? Why satellite dishes, folks? One of the most hyped set pieces in the build-up for The Force Awakens was the return of the Millennium Falcon, but you may have noticed one big change it had undergone over the years. The round parabolic emitter dish was replaced with a smaller, boxier one. This seems like an arbitrary change until you remember that Lando Calrissian sheared off the old antenna while zipping through the guts of the second Death Star, which they had built to be the exact size of the Millennium Falcon, except for the emitter dish. They thought that making it just that much smaller would keep them from flying straight through again. They were wrong! But they knocked that dish off and that's what counts. Number 2, another continuity save thanks to Clone Wars. It's pretty common knowledge that George Lucas didn't quite have all the pieces in place when he made A New Hope, which everyone involved assumed was going to be a one-off homage to the pulp cereals that George had enjoyed as a boy. But once the line, "I am your father," entered the universe, it's been a big twisty knot to make it fit with what had been previously established. Yet when the 2008 theatrical Clone Wars movie was released, who knew that Anakin's requisitioned Corellian ship, the Twilight, would fulfill a prophecy from 1997?
No, my father didn't fight in the wars. He was a navigator on a spice freighter.
What kind of ship is the Twilight? It's a G9 Rigger class space freighter. There you have it. Number 1, the birth and end of Darth Vader. It's like poetry, it rhymes. That's my bad George Lucas impression, and that is a Lucas quote that has been dragged through the internet mud for, well, forever now. The mix of self-satisfied pomposity and the satisfaction for what many saw as a shallow merchandising push has induced millions of eye rolls, but it's side-by-side moments like these that are so damn satisfying. Maybe it's because the prequels themselves have become beloved beacons of nostalgia, but in this example, we see how the moment Anakin commits to the dark side mirrors the moments he later decides to step away from it. In many ways, it lends even more gravity to the redemption and Return of the Jedi, as Darth Vader is not only reminded of his love for his son, but is also having a PTSD flashback to the moment he became the galaxy's most ruthless killer. He's all like, that was pretty cool. Done a lot with my life. I assume that's his inner monologue, I don't know. I'm not a good movie watcher.